Hey, folks, welcome to another Cocodona info session for the 2024 races in the Cocodona family. 3 distances, 1 amazing race. I'm your race director, Steve Adderholt. I'm going to be going through some information, the latest and greatest, and we have some really special guests and a special treat for you. We've got 2 course record holders that are going to talk about the setup of their packs for a race like Cocodona. Hopefully you'll get some great info out of that and take away some tips and tricks for your race. We're also going to hear from Wander Project, who's the awesome nonprofit that administers our charity bib program. And then I'm going to go through all the latest nitty-gritty details as the 2024 race planning continues. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome Zander Chase to join us here. Zander, welcome.
Hey, Steve. Great to be here.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Zander, tell us a little bit about Wander Project.
Yeah, so Wonder Project was founded in 2018 as the nonprofit partner to Vacation Races. And it was founded with the intent of supporting efforts in and around the communities that hosted their events. And since then, Wander Project has grown to support more events and support more local organizations around the country. And our charity bib program has evolved over time as well. And that is kind of how we ended up partnering with Cocodona last year. And the goal is to empower individuals to give back to the communities that they run in. And so through our charity bib program, we enable athletes to raise awareness and raise funds for a variety of different partner organizations and also organizations that the athletes care about personally. So there's a your choice element to that as well. And like I said, we partnered with Cocodona last year, had a great experience, and are back this year with record numbers.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that one of my favorite things about the Wander Project. The way that you go about your program is that the athletes can choose their own nonprofit to raise funds for. I think that's really awesome. Tell us, do we have any? Well, first of all, how many athletes do we have this year, and how much are they raising, and any interesting stories about the athletes at Cocodona this year?
Yeah, so we have a record number of athletes. We have 16 people signed up right now,
Awesome.
14 for the 250-mile distance and 2 for the 125 distance. And it's really a wide range of causes people are supporting. Some of our partners have runners for them. So Challenge Athletes Foundation, Bigger Than the Trail, Rising Hearts. They all have athletes running. And then with the Your Choice option, some of the stories that we've been seeing are really inspiring. We have one person running for the Wildland Firefighter Foundation, and he's already raised over $5,000 for that organization. And we have a few others for local nonprofits in the Arizona area. Girls on the Run has a runner for them. Yeah, a lot of amazing nonprofits and a lot of amazing stories that we've highlighted on our website and plan to continue to highlight throughout the year.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm blown away that we have 16 charity bib athletes. That's really good, and doing raising funds for some good causes. That's pretty sweet. Thanks for administering that. I'd love if you share some of those stories as the year goes on. If you have them, and we'd love to share them on social media to the Cocodona audience. So that would be great.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
any charity bibs left for runners that want to take part this year?
Yeah, so for the 250 distance, it might be a little late in the year, but we do have one opening there, and then for the 125 distance, we also have a few openings, and then the 36-mile distance as well. If people want to support a charity through that, we have a few extra spots there, and just be in touch with me if you would like to still fundraise for Cocodona through that. The lower distances have a lower fundraising minimum. The 250 distance has a $5,000 minimum, so it's a bit larger of an ask, but if you're ready to take on that distance and that fundraising amount, reach out to me and we can discuss.
Yeah, sweet. And all the contact information you need to get in touch with Zander is in the runner guide. So check it out there. Zander, how would a race director that may be watching who might be interested in partnering with Wander Project get involved with you?
Yeah, so like I said, we've had great success with Cocodona. You all have been an amazing partner, and we're looking to provide this service to more trail races and ultra races around the Western US. So if you're a race director and think this would be beneficial for your race, reach out to me directly. Um, my contact information should be in the race guide, or you can find it at wanderproject.org as well. And I'm happy to discuss as we're trying to continue to grow our impact. So would love to connect.
Sweet. And what about if a runner is interested in running and raising funds at a race that may not have already a charity bid program in place? Is that possible?
So right now we do not support that. If we are not partnered with the race, we do not support that. But let us know, and then maybe we can reach out to the race and partner with them in some way. We're kind of in a growth phase right now, so really hoping to continue to expand and give people the option to run for causes they believe about in as many races and avenues as possible.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. So the if you're a runner and you want to raise funds for a good cause, really you should ask your race director to partner with Wander Project for a charity bid program. It sounds like that's the best avenue. And I
Yes.
will say, Zander, working with Wander Project it's turnkey, it's super easy, and so I highly recommend it for any race director. And thanks for administering our charity bid program.
Yeah, of course. And thank you for being a great partner.
Yeah, sweet, man. All right, well, we'll see you in May. Thank you so much for joining us.
Awesome. See you then.
Okay, take care. Well, sweet. I am proud that we partner with Wander Project and that we've got 16 athletes raising funds for causes they believe in. That's a really cool thing. Next part in our segment is a focus on Ultra Aspire and their packs and products. Ultra Aspire is a partner of the Cocodona races. They're makers of amazing hydration packs, waist belts, and lighting products. They have offered Cocodona runners a discount of 15%. COCO15 is the discount code, so go ahead and order if you need one of those products. Order it. They're also going to give every runner a silicone collapsible cup, so our aid stations are cupless. And so in your when you check into the race, you're going to get one of those cups. Add that into your pack. The two athletes that are going to be joining us, Mike McKnight has run Cocodona all 3 years of the race. This will be his fourth year. He was the 2023 winner and current course record holder of the 250 distance. Jeff Browning ran with us last year in the Sedona Canyons 125. He won by blowing away all the competition and set the course record on the 125 course. Both of these gentlemen are returning with us in 2024, along with Mike Versteeg, the 2021 winner, and Joe McConaughey, the 2022 winner, along with a full list of really other great male athletes. We have a really competitive field this year. Hey, thanks for joining us, both of you. How are you doing today?
Cold.
Great.
Cold. Mike, you're in northern Utah, is that right?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, cold up there. And Jeff, where are you these days? You were in Utah, then in Flagstaff. Are you still in Flagstaff, or did you've moved?
Yeah,
on?
I'm in Flagstaff. We finally got a little bit of sun today. We've had kind of rain and snow and sleet the last 2 days. So, but I just got back from Phoenix from Coldwater 100, so I was down in the desert over the weekend. So that was nice.
Sweet. How was that race for you?
It was good, fast. had to throw down to get a win. It was Devin Yanko Sam Collins and Devin Yanko both kind of pushed me to a pretty fast time. So had a good day. I was fit coming into it, so was able to kind of answer. And you never know when the race unfolds if you're going to be able to answer, but I was able to answer and kind of throw down a 15:45. So that's pretty fast 100 for the start of the year. So I'll take it. I think that's my PR on trail. So
sweet, dude.
Yeah, I'll take it.
You are a crusher, and thanks for running with Aravaipa again and again. So,
absolutely.
Thanks. Okay, today's session is all about the two of you guys talking about your pack setup, so our Cocodona athletes can learn from the pros. So let's start with Mike. Mike, you want to walk us through your pack setup and how we can learn from you?
Yeah, of course. Feel free to interrupt if you have any questions, Steve. So I will disclaim and say I don't have my collapsible cup, but good news is that we do get that at race check-in. So, so I'm carrying the Ultraspire Zygos. I've used this vest at a lot of 200s. I love this thing. And so, I'll start out with the nutritional side of things. Right up here in front for easy access is where I put my gels. Can you see this pretty good, Steve?
Yeah, we can see it great.
Okay, cool. So I'll put my gels up right here in this pocket right here. On the side of the on the side of the vest, there's this nice little magnetic side pouch, and that's where I'll put in a little bit more like heavier type foods. I got this oatmeal pack. I got some bars that I'll put in this side one.
So that's cool. That's the magnetic clasp just keeps it closed as you're running.
Yep, it's really easy to get into. You just fidget it and it comes apart and then it snaps right back on like that.
Man, I love how Ultraspire has all these little features that make the packs so usable. It's cool.
Yep. And then on this side, it's not magnetic. It is a zipper. It's the same size pouch. I believe it's the same size pouch. It might be a little bit smaller, but you do have a zipper. And that's where I'll also put some more solid type foods that I'm going to be carrying. And then in the front, these are my two favorite pockets. You have these two sweet zipper pockets right here on one strap. And then you have the other zipper pocket on the other side of the strap. And so on one side, since I get into these pouches the most, I have a little baggie with my electrolyte pills that I'll put right in here. So I have easy access to that. And then in this other one, I have some more fuel. These are ketone shots that I carry. So I have the things that I'm going to use the most are what I have the easiest access to. And then the biggest advice I have for all of you is to carry tons of water, especially on that first day.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. We got lucky last year. We had some streams to filter with the winter that we're having this year. I don't know if that's going to be a convenience for everybody. I think we had like 3 or 4 streams on that first section. The first year I did it, we had no streams. So you need to carry a lot of water. I'll put my vest on to show how kind of cool this is.
So Mike, how many liters do you think you'll carry if all the streams are dry this year?
I'm going to carry, me and Jeff are working on that right now. I'm learning that I need way more water than I think I do. But I'm probably going to carry about 5 to 6 liters.
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, we require 4, but that's really the minimum. I mean, I think 5 to 6 is probably what most runners will need.
Yeah.
In that first section. Yeah.
What was the first year? You had like a 3-liter requirement, right?
Yeah, we all learned a couple of things that first year.
Yeah. 3 liters wasn't enough. That sent me to the hospital. So carry enough water.
Yeah.
And I'm not blaming you. That was my own fault.
No, like I said, we all learned, man.
Yeah. Okay. And so, in terms of my water setup, let's see. So up here in these front two pockets, I have two 500 milliliter bottles that they both have. The thing I like about Ultraspire is they make it very easy to get access to your water. And so both of these bottles have little hoses so you can just bend down and drink out of it. You don't have to take the bottle out to drink out of it. And then the other cool thing too is in the very back, and I'll show you this if you want me to take it out, but I do have a 2-liter bladder. And the cool thing about Ultraspire, I don't know if you can see this, but right there on the hose, there's a little magnet.
Yep.
You put the companion to that magnet on the other side, so that way your hose just kind of stays nice and secure right there, and it's not flopping around or anything, or you don't have to tuck it in the strings. It just clips, and you're good to go. And then in the very back, and I'll show this, but Ultraspire does make a 1-liter flask that I have in the very back that also comes with a hose. And so I have the access to that hose as well. So 4 different hoses, 4 liters of water. The nice thing is though too, like I said, I am going to be carrying more than 4 liters, especially on that first day. But right here, you can see in this outer pack is that 1-liter bladder, or sorry, that 1-liter soft flask. But there's room right next to it to do another liter soft flask. So 5 liters easily carried in the Zygos.
Yeah, sweet. And it seems like 4 liters of those, I mean, you have access to it right at the time. You don't have to swap out. All your hoses are right there, and you can drink the 4 liters. And then once you get past the 4 liters, then you have to take the pack off and readjust things.
Well, no. Well, yes and no, because there is room on this side for my 5th liter that I'll be carrying.
And you'll have another hose coming off on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. You're going to look like you're scuba diving, dude.
Yeah. But it's all about access, right? Like,
yeah, totally.
I know when I'm in these races, like if I have to take my vest off to get stuff, I delay it. And so for me, just having access to all my water is going to be super convenient and make sure that I'm staying hydrated. And then just like any vest, there's the insulation back here to keep your bladder nice and cold. How much time do I got, Steve? A couple minutes?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. And so, and I'll just take this out so you can see everything. And then the Zygos does have this zipper right here that has a much larger pouch to put other stuff. Again, I'm going for convenience, so that 400 extra calories that's required for us to carry. I just have this little like big protein bar that has 1,000 calories, so it's super light, super compactable. Also in that very back pouch, I have a filter in case there are streams to filter in. The nice thing is most filter lids fit with any soft flask. So this is an Ultraspire soft flask, but this is just a generic filter lid that screws right onto it.
Awesome.
This is a trick that I learned, but so there is, remind me, Steve, there's only certain sections that you're required to carry, like a long sleeve, a jacket, and stuff like that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So basically, there are certain aid stations that we are going to check for required gear, and that's the start of that section that's required. Yep.
Okay. So what I do is I put my jacket, my long sleeve, my gloves, and my hat in a Ziploc baggie that I essentially vacuum seal. I give it to my crew, and then whatever sections this is required, they hand it to me, and I just shove it into this huge pocket right here. Because for me, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go for it.
Like I don't plan on using this stuff. Obviously, I want it in case I need it, but because I don't plan on using it, I can just put it all in this Ziploc baggie and shove it in, and I have it for the required gear. I have it if I need it, but it's not taking up a lot of space, and it's easy to find if I need it.
Yeah, and it's all in one place. That's a great idea, man. Yeah, and that required gear, like you said, it's really for the worst case scenario. If you sprain an ankle and you start moving really slow, it can be really cold in places out on the course. But yeah, that makes sense that you're hopefully not planning on using it. Yeah.
Yep. And then last in this back pocket, there's also another little zipper that you can stash other stuff in. And that's where I keep my headlamp. So a headlamp is required, and so is extra batteries. So I put my extra batteries in a Ziploc as well. And then that's also where I have my space blanket, which also has my whistle. But the other nice thing about the Zygos, and I think all of Ultraspire packs, is there's a little zipper in the front that you can stash away and that you have access to. So that comes with the vest.
Dude, I love it to know that our course record holders are carrying all the required gear that you are too. Really, there's no excuse if McKnight is carrying all the required gear.
I've been in some tough spots where, like I said, I've done over 10 200-mile races, and there's one time that I've had to use the required gear, and I'm grateful that I had it because it was on top of a ridge, rain and lightning storm, almost hypothermic. So even though you most likely aren't going to need it, you're going to want it in case you do need it. So
yeah, sweet. Yeah, man, that's great. Thanks for walking us through that pack. I mean, obviously you've run over, 10 or over 10 200-milers. You have the experience. So thanks for sharing it with us. That's awesome.
Yeah. And the one thing I didn't mention is the required GPS file. But I mean, most watches have that nowadays, so you're good to go there.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I don't have the collapsible cup with me, but I do put that in this side pocket, so it's easily accessible for when I do get to the aid stations.
Sweet. Thanks, man. That was really good. I'm gonna transition. Let's transition over to Jeff. And Jeff, you want to walk us through kind of the same set of information on how you set your pack up?
Yes. So I use this was specifically designed as a lightweight 200-mile pack for me. Originally, that was the concept behind it, and that it could also be used for 100-milers, the big Bronco race vest. So it's a pretty small pack. Overall, it's a 12-liter race vest. It's got a main opening in top that does not zip close. It has a grab rim, so you can grab things over your shoulder. So you can grab that rim and pull it up, and I'll show that in a second. So the way mine is set up, and this is the new desert colorway, specifically designed for Cocodona. It's a lighter color, and so not going to be as hot. So we'll start with water, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna pull these out so you can see them. I have a 2-liter bladder, so that's number one. And I'll take it out and just kind of set it to the side, and we'll just kind of unpack slowly. So I have a 2-liter bladder. There are 2 half-liter flasks in front. So that's what I'll actively kind of drink calories out of, liquid calories and electrolytes, and then water in that 2-liter bladder. And then I have 2 small pockets in the back here that have magnet, just like Mike's pack. It has magnet closure, 45-degree accessibility to it. And I have another half-liter flask here and another half-liter flask here. It also has pole straps in case I want to add poles to certain sections of the course. And so there's my 4 liters. I will also in the first day, I'll be carrying handhelds. So I'll probably carry 2 of these Ultraspire handhelds. That'll add another 1.3 liters to my carrying capacity. So I'll be carrying 5.3 liters on the first day. And then those handhelds will go away with crew once we're through that section. But that shows you kind of like what I'm dealing with on the hot day on day 1. Because the Bradshaws are, the crux. And the first 37 are really, really hard. So I'm gonna put this on real quick just so we can kind of see accessibility. I have my whistle hanging on the front. So closure. Let me get this going so it's all closed up. And you can see Adjustability is right here on the sides. So I can, if I have more gear on one section and less gear, I can tighten the straps just by pulling on these. So it's really convenient. Then I have some calories in the front. I also will wear pocketed shorts. So most of my calories will go in the shorts. And just so they're easily accessible right here around my waist. And then I have my cup. I have S caps. I have squirrel's nut butter.
Yeah.
You need some lube if you're going to be out there in the desert, especially for a couple days. You do not be proactive. Don't let your chafing get bad. Then also, I have some caffeine pills. And then as far as my required clothing, it's all here in the back. So you can see I grab the grab bag, can pull it out. I have it in a waterproof stuff sack with a drawstring top. And then I can just take that apart. And that's got my light. It's got gloves. I got white arm sleeves, buff, waterproof jacket, waterproof pants, insulated jacket, all stuffed in that stuff sack. So my required kit's all in there. So it's all right zipped up in that. And so I can get into it, shuffle through it, and then just over my shoulder, just stuff it back in the back again.
Cool.
And
That's
it's
great.
back in the back. So that's kind of my setup. The only other thing I have that I'll show by taking this off real quick. The other thing I do have for, once we get up on the rim, I do have a micro down that I probably will carry. And depending on temperatures, we'll see what the weather looks like. But I have other options that crew will have with them, so I can add in to the mix. There's also an inside zipper pocket that floats, that's waterproof. That I also have my emergency blanket, and actually have some cash in there, if you can see. And then one thing I do just as a safety thing, I think this is a great tip for people. I photocopy my driver's license, and I hand write on there like my blood type, my emergency contact, my wife and her phone number. So, I always carry this on big adventures, even training. So it always goes in there. I have baby wipes, TP, in case, you got to pack it out, dig a hole and pack it out. If you're in the backcountry, leave no trace. I've got an extra battery for my headlamp. And we've also added to the big Bronco this year. There's a small pocket on the inside. If you can kind of see this, I don't know if you can see this on the side. There's a little zipper stretchy pocket right here. And this is for the spot tracker. So the spot tracker will go in that. It doesn't even have to sit on my shoulder, which really gets annoying for me when it's Velcroed on your shoulder. I hate that. It messes the packs fit. So that's where that's going to go. And it's on the back, so it's facing the sky, in mesh, so it will still read.
Man, that's
the last thing I have in here is
every little detail. I think that's so awesome.
And the other thing I have is, this is my blister kit. So I carry a blister kit with me too. So that's like in the field. If you have an issue in the field, it's a basic blister kit. I have a blister shield pack. I have single alcohol wipes, a safety pin, like a big safety pin, and then a little micro Bic lighter for cleaning the safety pin, so you can light the end of it if you had to pop something, and then a roll of Leuco tape. But I will transfer this Leuco tape to an older bladder tube. So I'll cut the bladder tube about 3 or 4 inches long. I'll wrap this around it so you can hold on to it and undo it, and it takes up even less space. I think one thing to emphasize with my pack, it is a minimal pack, and you have to invest in light gear and very light packable required kit. You can't just like throw a bunch of like heavy, waterproof jacket and like a big fat down coat and heavy layers. Like you're not going to be able to fit that kind of stuff in this pack because it's only a 12-liter pack. So I like to make sure I emphasize that to people, that if they are going to use that kind of a pack, they've really got to kind of take the time to be as geeky as I am about my layers and how light they are. So that way my base pack is very, very light. And then I'm just worried about water weight.
Dude, I love it. You're so dialed in, man. You even like down to the Leukotape and the lighter to clean the safety pin for blister popping. Man, you're dialed. I love it.
Well, I had to do it. I used that at Moab, and I think too, like I've been coaching Mike for a lot of years, and I've learned a lot through just coaching him, and also I've coached a ton of other people to like the Triple Crown and back of the pack, middle of the pack, and front of the pack. And I've helped Mike, and I've crewed for him, and I've paced him. And, I had a decent amount of knowledge going into my first, I've only run 200 plus. I've run Moab 240. And I really kind of leverage all that knowledge to go into Moab and really help me kind of dial in. That's where this pack was designed for. We originally came up with the Bronco race vest, which is a 5-liter kind of more race vest specific vest, something you could put like a super light mountain kit in and just go light and fast with a liter. And this is so more of a 100-mile pack for me, a race pack. And then when I signed up for Moab, I went to Bryce at Ultraspire and I was like, man, can we just add some pockets down below, to make it into like a 12-liter vest? And I think I can get all my gear in a 12-liter vest. I have enough light stuff that's small that I think I can do it. And we were able to do that. So it worked great for Moab.
Yeah. I've said it before, but that's the thing I love about Ultra Aspire is, the athletes are helping Bryce design and retool and it's their athlete driven, really useful packs. They have all the little things you need, man. It's pretty sweet.
I think one of the things that's really fun to kind of mention about Bryce, he's always been into like working directly with athletes. He loves to do that. He's an athlete himself. I don't know if anybody knows that out there, but he set the FKT on the Grand in the Tetons and back in 1983, and it stood until Killian broke it. So
oh my gosh,
it was around for a long time, and I could be wrong that it was Killian that broke it, but it wasn't broken for like 30 some years. Okay. Wow. I think it might've been 32 years or something like that. But one of the things I think that's cool to talk about, and I have a long history with Ultraspire and Bryce. Bryce and I are really good friends. And this bottle alone, the shape of the bottle and how we designed it, like I sketched this with a pencil. Like, I came from an art background and graphic design. And so I sketched it back in the fax days, and I faxed him a sketch illustration of this bottle design. And then he designed something with his own. He always puts his own spin on stuff. He thinks through it, and he needs to be like any creative person. He needs to wait for those kind of creative juices to start flowing. And he sat on this for a bit, and then all of a sudden he came back with like a new design and was like, here it is, and it's still around. So kind of a cool history, kind of trivia thing. But I really love working with them. They've been great to work with for years and years. And, I really appreciate them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Really good perspective to have on Ultraspire. Basically, any partner that I'm working with, the most important thing for me is that they're good people. And, beyond all of the packs and all the products being really great, they're good people at Ultraspire. So that makes me happy too. Well, sweet. Thanks, guys, for walking us through your packs. I've learned some really good things. Hopefully the people joining in on this session have learned something as well. So I want to talk to you two about how you work together. I mean, you guys, you got a coach mentor relationship, but you're racing against each other for Cocodona. How are you two personally going about that for Cocodona this year?
I'm praying that my coach isn't trying to sabotage me.
You go first, Mike.
I said I'm praying my coach isn't trying to sabotage me. Just kidding.
Oh, dude, I would never do
that. Before we jump into that, Steve, I do want to say one more quick thing about Ultraspire. They also have one of the best fitted race belts that I've ever worn in terms of how it fits you and how it holds your body and what it could hold. And so if you're worried about, like, if you don't have a bunch of shorts that Jeff has that has a bunch of pockets in it, like, that belt can carry a bunch of food. You can even fit a soft flask in it. So that fitted race belt is something I'll probably be utilizing on that first day too.
Oh, sweet.
And you can use poles. You can use poles on that race belt too. I've used it with the Bronco race vest, the 5-liter at Hard Rock, and used that fitted race belt for just a little extra, little extra gear, little things like gloves and stuff like that on it, and then put my poles on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do have waist belts. Oh, sorry.
Well, no, I was just going to say the lighting system is great as well, because, if you're using a different product, there's cords running everywhere and they get all tangled up. And, the Ultraspire light on the belt is amazing because it's just so easy. It snaps in and out. That's great too.
And there's even pockets on that one too that you could put food or something in as well. But so yeah, in terms of racing Jeff, I think I told Jeff this, but I was actually planning on taking a break from Cocodona until I saw he signed up, and then I signed up shortly after that. Because I've never had the chance to race Jeff before, and so that's definitely something that enticed me to sign up again this year. My plan right now, anyone that followed Cocodona last year know that I had a terrible first day and had to make quite the comeback. And with the field this year, like Jeff, Joe, Mike, Killian, like I think I saw Arlen just signed up too. Yep. Yeah. So, it's just, I think this is going to be one of those races where you can't make any mistakes. I think there's a chance to go sub 60 this year on this course to match Joe's time from 2 years ago. But yeah, it's just going to be fun to race, specifically Jeff. I don't know if I have much more to say than that.
Well, I would say that I'm just excited to have a deep field this year. I think it's going to, in the US, this is the deepest field a 200 plus has ever had. So I'm excited about that, to have, competition and, cause when I ran Moab, I was running by myself up front, and it was pretty lonely. And, just like this last weekend proves, running Coldwater 100, competition makes you rise to the occasion. And I think that having Mike in the race and having Arlen in the race now, and Joe and Versteeg and Killian Korth and everybody, like, there's so many fast, good, solid 200-mile runners that have proven themselves in 200s that I think, it's going to make it a really interesting year. And I'll be interested. I think it's going to take a course record to win, honestly. And I think unfortunately, Mike, I think your course record's probably going down. Somebody's going to get it. And I, as far as from a relationship with Mike, we've had a long-term relationship as far as like I used to live in Logan. We used to train together. Then I started coaching him once I left. I introduced him to OFM and high fat, low carb and that kind of approach. And, and he's taken it and run with it himself and really like excelled at this distance. And, I think he's right. You can't have that. You can't have a bad first day, like we have in the past. And there's been a little bit of room for for error. And I think there's not that room for error this year is going to be a lot smaller. 200s, I don't know if you can run a flawless 200-mile race, necessarily. It's so long. Like there's just a lot of room for little mistakes, but I do think it's going to take a pretty fast time to win the men's race this year. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the competition. I'm looking forward to the experience. Finishing in Flagstaff where I live, I love that. And it'll be fun. Like the cool thing about 200s is you don't have to run. It's not like 100 where you're kind of hammering up front, and there's not a lot of talking. I mean, there might be talking in the first 20 miles, but then it's like shut up and like breathe and focus. And I think the 200 is a cool distance because you do have to run it at a little, lower end aerobic effort. You just have to settle in. And I think that makes for a really cool social aspect of the sport, at least even in the front. It allows us, if there are people around, you're running at an effort that you're not like sucking wind. So you should be able to like hang out and chat and kind of enjoy each other's company a little bit too. So I think it'll be fun this year.
Yeah, it'll definitely be fun for us watching you guys out there on the field. It would be fun to see a pack of the front runners chatting up and having a good time until the end, and then somebody's got to turn it on to get to the finish line first.
Yeah, well, and you got to sleep. You got to sleep at least a little at some point. So, there's going to be some jockeying at some point because not everybody's going to sleep at the exact same time. So, it's going to be an interesting race. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh man, I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to see you guys out there. Well, thanks so much for walking us through your pack setup. Can't wait to see you in May. Thank you so much for joining us. And thanks a lot. Good luck training.
Thanks.
Yep. Okay. Take care, guys. Well, that was a treat for me. Hopefully it was really good for you as well. Those two guys are good guys, and they are both really strong runners. So can't wait to see them out on the course this next year. Hopefully you learn some tips and tricks. I love Ultra Aspire gear. Hopefully you've seen how great of gear they put together. Go ahead and make a purchase of their gear so you can train with it in advance of the race. They are offering a 15% discount with Coco15. It's all one word, all lowercase, Coco15. So, thanks Ultra Aspire for helping support the race. All right, now let's get into some of the race updates for Cocodona. Our nonprofit partner for the race, Wilderness Volunteers, they lead amazing and really inexpensive trail work, basically vacations in beautiful wilderness areas around the United States. We as trail runners aren't always the best at doing trail maintenance. The mountain bikers have us beat in that category for sure, so we can do better. Check out Wilderness Volunteers website, wildernessvolunteers.org, for their 2024 schedule to some really amazing places and do some good work out there. Okay, course changes for the Cocodona 250. If you've been watching Black Canyon, that's coming up in just a little bit. By the time you're watching this, it might have already happened. They had a major aid station change. That was our start line for the Cocodona 250, so we're changing our start line location from the Rock Springs Cafe to Deep Canyon Ranch. It's just up the road, not too far, still in Black Canyon City. I think it's going to be a really great change for the race. Hopefully, we're still working on the route for that first few miles, but hopefully it won't change the actual distance of the race in that first day. Adding miles that first day would be a tough thing to do. So hopefully we keep the mileage the same, but it's going to be a better location for our start. More information to come on that as I get the course finalized. We have added a cutoff time at Schnebley Hill Aid Station. That's Thursday at 9:30 p.m. In my last session, I talked about 3 locations that we added cutoff times. Our goal is not to cut anyone off from the race. Our goal is for everyone to finish, as many people as can. These are really just for planning purposes for us and the volunteers to make sure that we hit our timelines. The 9:30 Thursday cutoff at Schnebley Hill, that edition, in the past wouldn't have cut anyone from the course. It's just for us to make sure that there's nobody way behind and throwing all of our timelines off. So that's an addition for the 250 distance. Highly doubt it would cut anybody off the 125 distance. Speaking of the 125 distance, so for the Sedona Canyons 125 race, we do have a few changes. No crew access at the Dead Horse aid station. That's the first aid station for Sedona Canyons. That's mile 10 of the course. So no crew access there. I asked runners informally last year to not have any crew there at that aid station. This year we're making that a requirement, a rule. No crew at that first aid station for Sedona Canyons. Also the second aid station for Sedona Canyons, which is the Deer Pass aid station at mile 23. No crew at that location either. It's just a really small Forest Service trailhead aid station. So no crew for the 125 distance only at Deer Pass, mile 23. For the Sedona aid station for the 125 distance is mile 37 of the course. That is the first place that you can pick up your crew for the race, and we're having the 125 the crew for the 125 runners park offsite at a parking lot that's really close to aid station, and we're going to be shuttling those 125 distance crews to the Sedona aid station. That is mandatory, and more information on that parking location and how to go about that will be coming out in the following weeks. Same exact scenario at the Walnut Canyon aid station for just the Sedona Canyons 125 race, which is their mile 103. Required shuttle for pacers and crew for the 125 distance. We've got a parking lot offsite that we're going to shuttle pacers and crew for the Walnut Canyon aid station for that 125 distance to Walnut Canyon. So all of that information will be coming out on the runner guide. It's not in there yet, but the next version will have all the updated information of those changes. And yeah, they are a little bit restrictive. We're going to do a really good job making sure all the logistics are sound, and so it won't have an impact on the runners of the race. And it really just allows us to continue to have the race grow and be successful. So, anyways, those are summary of the changes. A really cool thing that one of our partners is helping us do. So Lecky has just come on board as the pole sponsor for Cocodona. We do have a scholarship program for Cocodona. This year for the Cocodona 2024 race, we awarded 4 free entry scholarships to athletes that were well deserving and couldn't otherwise afford the race. We were able to offer 4 entries because of donations from the Cocodona community. And we're going to try to grow that program for 2025. Lecky has put up 10 sets of trail running poles that we're going to raffle off to anyone who contributes to that scholarship pool. So you can contribute in $25 increments. Every $25 increment that you donate to the Cocodona scholarship pool will get you an additional draw for those for the 10 Lecky trail running poles. These are top of the line, really good trail running poles. Everyone who's already donated to the scholarship pool will be entered into the this drawing, and anyone who donates to the scholarship pool for 2025 up until March 25th. So we've got a couple of months that you can donate $25 and be entered into that raffle for the 10 trail running poles from Lecky. To do that, there's a link in the runner guide to donate to the scholarship pool, or you can go to Ultra Sign Up, go to Cocodona, and click on the store page, and you can donate that way as well. Really appreciate Lecky coming on board and helping us out with that. I mean, they make amazing poles, but they're also another great company with great people trying to do really good work they've made a ton of strides with sustainability and supporting our runners who couldn't otherwise afford the race was important to them, and this is one way they wanted to contribute. So thanks, Lucky, for helping us do that. Moving on, the Trail Work Day, the official Trail Work Day for Cocodona we've changed the date. The last date was on Easter weekend. Easter, as a little bit of side rant here, Easter, I love how it's scheduled every year. It's not on a date. It is the first Sunday after the first full moon after the spring equinox. You got to love pagans. That is pretty sweet. I love being tied to the seasons, and that's a really cool holiday that is tied to the seasons. Sorry for the side rant. Anyways, come join us on March 23rd for a trail work day in Sedona. We're going to be working in Oak Creek Canyon. It's going to be a full day of trail work, and then afterwards we've got a group campsite reserved for anyone who wants to join from the trail work day, and I'll be there as well. So we'll hang out and camp that night, and then the next day, Sunday, March 25th, we'll go on a 15 to 25 mile run on the Cocodona and Sedona Canyons course. So mark your calendars, come out and join us. Invites and a link to join that trail work day and informal course run the next day will be coming out. Training and coaching services. If your training isn't going as well as you would have hoped, or you want to step it up to the next notch, we are very happy to partner with Sundog Running. They're a great company, another great group of folks. They're based out of Flagstaff. They know the course. They've run on the trails. Their coaches have run the races with us and finished the races and coached athletes to successful finishes. So they know the Cocodona race and all of the things that you're going to be dealing with. Visit them at sundogrunning.com and get started with them. We are looking for help always to put on the race. We have a bunch of staff roles that you can come out and join if you're not looking to run this year. Everything from course marking to aid station setup and teardown crews, body work, so massage, stretching, anybody who wants to come out and assist the runners that way, shuttle drivers, and so many more staff positions. If you're interested, these positions aren't in the general volunteer sign up. Shoot me an email if you're interested at steve@aravaiparunning.com, and I'll get you into a staff role to help us put on this great race and support the runners. And speaking of ways that you can help the race, if you or someone you know wants to volunteer for Cocodona in just a regular volunteer role, most of the shifts are about 8 hours in length. You can do as many as you want. And most of the shifts are aid station volunteers. There's a few other course sweep and live stream helpers as well. That volunteer sign up is now live. You can get to it through the runner guide or the website. There's info on how you can sign up as a volunteer. That's all I have for you this week or this month on the Cocodona info session. Thank you so much for joining. Good luck in your training, and we are looking forward to seeing you in May.